Clarified Solutions discussion on flexible workplace arrangements. Now, is this something which is currently a topic for deep consideration, given the changing climate in which we're finding ourselves in for a multitude of reasons, some of which are technological, some are sociological, and some are even epidemiological, as we are currently discovering. So today I'm going to launch into a discussion about flexible workplace arrangements as they pertain to you and how you can navigate your way through particular core areas. I'm really excited to hear your comments on this particular topic of flexible workplace arrangements, as I know it's something that people have different levels of insight into and varying perspectives on as well. So we're going to cover three core areas in the discussion today. These being how to determine your needs in your own flexible workplace arrangement, how technological advancements are impacting this particular flexible workplace arrangement and are necessary to factor into your decision making. And finally, what could be the future of our workplaces and workspaces? Okay, so to lay some groundwork, let's first think about how would you determine what sort of flexible workplace arrangement you desire. So when thinking about this, there are a multitude of different factors that you can incorporate, some of which, though, that pertain to the vast majority of people are whether you would prefer to work remotely or on site, or a combination of these, the hours which you prefer to work, whether it be a part-time arrangement or a full-time arrangement, the way in which you would like to work with the team that you work for, or how you would like to lead your team as well, the hours as it relates to other commitments which you have outside of the workspace, whether they be your family, hobbies, a business you may also be running at the same time as your other workspace, and so much more. So when first considering flexible work arrangements, if you feel like as a notion, this is something that would be very appealing to you, but you're not quite sure how to really broach this topic with your employer, or how to broach this topic with your team if you're the team leader or the employee. And so this is something where it really comes down to having some clarity on what it is that you hope to achieve from this flexible workplace arrangement. What is it that you'd like to have as an outcome? Would you like to work fewer hours over fewer days in order to achieve fill in the blank? In order to create a plan and a strategy, your core motivation is absolutely necessary to determine before you work up the steps to be able to achieve this. Without a clear sense of motivation or any particular factors pertaining to this, it's going to fall by the wayside when you go through the stages of actually going through different approvals to be able to work with this flexible work arrangement and to actually create a lifestyle that really caters to this particular working arrangement. So first things first, really get clear on what your motivating factors are. Write them down, discuss them with people who are particularly close to you, perhaps not in the workplace to begin with. Perhaps they could be friends, your family, your mentors, or any other people you feel that could really benefit from this particular process of running these ideas by them and you really valuing their advice. Next, let's factor in technological advancements. So as we're aware, the centralized workplace where you had to keep everything on site purely because of technological incapabilities is now almost a thing of the past in many different countries around the world. So what has technological advancement allowed us to do? Well, it's allowed us to decentralize the workplace. It's given us incredible communication tools and opportunities to have conversations with people across countries, across time zones, and to do so seamlessly. So technological advancement is certainly something that you can leverage to your advantage, particularly in the case of flexible workplace arrangements. Now, consider some instances where technological advancement may actually be a hindrance. Is there some area of technology where you feel you could up-level your skills in order to really make the most of this decentralized workspace? These days, with our phones, with different apps that have been created, and with incredible software, which is now being created across many different platforms and industries, in essence, our laptops and our mobile phones are our digital workspaces and workplaces. These travel along with us as we attend meetings or as we work from home. So really hone in on which particular areas of this technology are of most value to you and to your team or your employer, whatever workplace situation you may be in. So moving on from technological advancement, let's consider the future of workspaces. Do you consider the future of your workspace to be one where your workspace is forever changing? Your work environment is forever changing? Are the teams of people that you're working with incredibly flexible and malleable and fluid? Is the number of hours you work per week not rigid and set? Is it flexible depending on the outcomes required for the current workload which you have? All of these will determine your unique future in your workspace. Yet there are some universal factors which will affect the workspaces and workplaces on a macro level. So these are determined by a huge range of different factors. You've got macroeconomic factors, you have technological factors, which we touched on before. You also have sociological factors. Now, sociological factors as it relates to flexible workplace arrangements is very interesting. So it really comes down to social norms which are created, which determine how we function in different workspaces, how we relate to our work, and where we determine we do the best work. So sociologically, we've moved ourselves from the 19th century and the Industrial Revolution, where we banded together in very large factories on the whole, and where people worked side by side doing a particular range of tasks, which included very little digital technology, if not any. And the technology which was used was quite simple in comparison to what we currently have at our disposal. So we've moved from an industrial revolution, sociological sense of what a workspace is and what it means. Then we moved into office spaces where computers and telephones started to become introduced. Consider the way in which this changed the mindset and mentality towards our workspaces. Then we advanced even further. As I mentioned before, we moved into a decentralized workspace where these particular pieces of technology and different tools to use in our workplaces became mobile telephones, laptops. There was no need to carry around a briefcase with a phone in it, as people would have had to do in the 60s and 70s. We have a mobile phone which has access to numerous contacts, apps, software, even secure networks within our businesses. And then where do you believe we're moving to sociologically now? Given how fluid and dynamic workplaces are, given how many people have a mix of income sources, where do you believe our future workspaces and workplaces will likely be? I'd be really interested to hear your comments below and answer any questions that you may have on flexible workplace arrangements. So if you'd like to hear further business insights on a range of different topics, please like and subscribe my YouTube channel, which is Clarified Solutions, or you can follow me on Instagram, Clarified Solutions Services, or on Facebook, Clarified Solutions. I look forward to many more discussions with you and sharing my insights and wisdom into the world of business strategy, project management, grant research and writing, and effective communication. All the best.